Have you ever been told that you're just too sensitive or too emotional? Well, what if that very sensitivity is actually your greatest strength, just waiting to be unlocked? Today, we're going to explore how to turn that deep emotional awareness from something that feels like chaos into a powerful tool for leadership.
I mean, this message is everywhere, right? That our emotions are some kind of liability. How many times have you heard toughen up or stop being so sensitive? It can make you feel like something's wrong with you. It's a pretty lonely feeling, isn't it?
But what if that whole idea is just wrong? Let's flip the script on this. Being emotionally sensitive isn't a flaw. It's a finely tuned instrument. Think of it as a form of heightened awareness that lets you perceive all the subtle things that other people just miss completely.
Okay, this is so important to get. The problem has never been the feeling itself. The anger, the sadness, the joy, those are all fine. It's the unmanaged reaction that trips us up. That's where the regret and the exhaustion really come from.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You're the one in the room who notices that tiny shift in a colleague's tone of voice. You pick up on the real meaning behind a friend's silence. You can feel the unspoken tension in a room. This isn't a flaw. It's basically a data-gathering superpower.
So if the feelings aren't the enemy, then what is it? It's the speed. It's that lightning-fast, almost invisible gap between feeling a surge of emotion and the action you take. That right there, that's the danger zone.
This just nails it, doesn't it? That's the perfect way to describe that feeling of losing control. It's that moment when your emotions completely hijack your rational mind and you say or do something that you instantly wish you could just take back.
And this brings us to a real game-changing distinction. An emotion, whether it's anger, joy, or fear, it's an automatic neurological event. It just happens. It arrives without an invitation. But the reaction, that's where you have a choice. Even when it feels totally impossible in the heat of the moment, the choice is there.
So that's the million-dollar question, right? If slowing down is the key to everything, how in the world do you actually do it? How do you create that little bit of space, that crucial pause between the feeling and the action?
Well, thankfully, there's a simple but incredibly powerful framework for this exact thing. We're going to call it the Pause, Name, Choose framework, and it's basically your key to mastering emotional timing.
And that's it. Just 3 simple steps. Pause, name, and choose. It's so easy to remember, but I'm telling you, putting it into practice is life-changing. Let's break down exactly what each of these means.
All right, step 1 is the hardest and the simplest. You just pause. And that means you don't defend yourself, you don't explain, you don't justify, you just stop. Take a deep breath, feel your feet on the floor. This isn't being passive, it's an act of incredible strength. You're creating a moment for your nervous system to catch up to your emotions.
Okay, next, after you've paused, you name the emotion. And get this, there's actually some cool brain science behind this. When you put a label on a feeling, you literally shift activity from your reactive, emotional brain, the amygdala, over to your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex. Just naming it starts to give you back control.
And you want to get really specific here. Saying, "I feel overwhelmed" is way too vague. What's underneath that? Are you angry? Are you hurt? Disappointed? Afraid? Naming it precisely, even if it's just to yourself, starts to disarm the emotion. Okay, this feeling, this is disappointment. See? You can feel how that's already more manageable.
And finally, the third step, choose. This is where you really take back the steering wheel, and you do it by asking one incredibly powerful question. What response will I respect tomorrow? Whoa, that question instantly pulls you out of your impulses and connects you to your long-term values.
So what happens is, when you start using this framework, something really fundamental starts to shift. You begin to see your emotions not as commands you have to obey, but as signals that you need to interpret.
Think of your emotions as messengers from your inner world. Anger might be a signal that a boundary has been crossed. Fear could be a request for more safety or more information. Your job isn't to shoot the messenger, it's to read the message.
And let's be super clear about something. This has nothing to do with suppressing your feelings or pretending they don't exist. That's just a recipe for disaster. This is about emotional intelligence. It's about choosing the right time and the right way to express what you're feeling so you can actually get the outcome you want. You know, you can think of it this way. Every single time you have an impulsive reaction, it kind of chips away at your trust in yourself. But every time you pause, name your feeling, and choose your response, you're laying another brick in the foundation of unshakable self-respect. Ultimately, this whole practice is about moving from a passive state to a very active one.
It's what transforms you from being someone who's at the mercy of their feelings into the leader of your own emotional life.
And this slide just says it all. Drifting is when you're just getting tossed around by every emotional wave that comes your way. But driving, that's when you have your hands on the wheel. You acknowledge the storm is there, but you are the one choosing your destination.
This right here is the core belief to hold on to. It's a mantra. You don't have to pick between feeling things deeply and acting wisely. You can, and you absolutely should, do both. In fact, your depth of feeling is the very source of your potential for wisdom.
If you take only one thing away today, please let it be this. The goal is never, ever emotional numbness. The world needs your empathy, your intuition, your sensitivity. You don't need to feel less. You just need the tools to manage that powerful energy better.
And it all comes back to this one simple question. The next time you feel that emotional surge, and you will, just try to pause and ask yourself this. The answer won't just change your response in that moment. I promise you, it will eventually change your life.